Hi Cancer, my name's Leona from Supra ConsciousSoul, and this is your November love reading, or November and beyond, because I realise it's running a little late. I'm sorry. So, your first card is the King of Cups. Now this is saying that it's like you're trying to get your emotions in check this month. I feel like you've had a lot of obstacles, you've had a lot of challenges with the Five of Wands. There's been like this push-pull energy, there's been arguments, there could have been some quarrels, a little bit of jealousy, possessiveness. But I feel like a lot of you are trying to get yourselves on a level where you're more in control of your emotions. And I feel like you're trying to do this in order to get yourself more centered this month. So you've then, another challenge for you this month has been to communicate. We have the Queen of Swords here, and this is talking about being quite defensive, also being able to communicate your needs, to communicate your boundaries, to be able to communicate what you want out of a relationship, but not doing it in an over emotional way. It's like you're challenging yourself to pull back, because with the Five of Wands as well, it can sometimes talk about ruining things through aggressiveness, ruining things through pride, ruining things through being too dominant. It's like you're trying to balance yourself this month between stating your needs and being emotionally detached, but in a good way, not in the sense that you're emotionally detached where, oh, I can just see that happening and I don't care. It's more of an emotional detachment where you're not investing too much emotion into it. You're trying to balance yourself this month emotionally. So underneath the deck you have the Lovers card. Now this talks about communication as well, needing to have that communication. It also talks about Gemini, because Gemini is the card of the Lovers. Gemini is also about communication and about having open debate and open, honest communication. There's a level of vulnerability needed, but at the same time it's asking you to be clear about the choices that you're making this month in love. And it's almost like with this card there's a challenge that says it's like your choices are going to be based on the wisdom and the knowledge that you've picked up, the wisdom and the knowledge that you've acquired along the journey. And now the test for you this month could be to use that knowledge in order to make the right decision. And so for some of you guys, I think you need to look out for this test and look out for the fact that it's like the universe is just seeing if you've learned some of the things. It's like they're putting things in your way to see, like, have you really learned this? Have you really? I don't see it as a negative test, like there's any major, but it's just asking you to use the wisdom. We also have underneath that the Hermit card. So that is about looking at the past relationships, looking at what's worked for you in the past and what hasn't, in order to move forward, because your energy card for the end of that line is action, or 17. So it's moving forward, but in an empowered way. I feel like you'll after you've dealt with the emotions and the challenges and obstacles that came through. I feel like, and then you've stated your point, you're now able to kind of move forward. But it's also with this card, it reminds me of the Cancer card, actually, the Chariot card with the two horses pulling. But there's a need to kind of get them into balance in order to make it move. But with this card, it's saying to, yes, now is the time to move. You're feeling now is the time to move, in terms of like you've done the healing, you've done all that. But it's asking you to still keep tapping into your intuition. With the White Horse, it's asking you to still keep tapping in. Don't just rush ahead. Yeah, you're doing the healing, you're doing that, all that communicating, but it's saying just don't rush ahead, just always keep tapping into your intuition, keep weighing up how the relationship is balancing. Use your intuition to tap into that. You also have the Three of Pentacles in the center row, or the present row. So this is saying that you've done a lot of work on your self-worth, your inner, you've done a lot of work on your inner self in terms of how others see you. Now I feel like a lot of people are possibly gathering around. You're getting a lot more support. You could be, other people are starting to notice you now as well for the value that you contain. Because underneath that, I've just been drawn to the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups is a very value orientated woman. She's a woman of high value, high esteem, high respect. So especially next to the Three of Pentacles, I'm getting that you're working on your value, you're working on how others are seeing you, you're working on your self-worth, your self-love. It's like self-love is everything right now. You also have in your center, you have the Fool. So this is saying that you want new starts. You're like, yeah, I'm ready for this new start, whether it's this relationship that I've had to work out the challenges and the obstacles with and set my boundaries with before I could move forward, whether that is the new start or whether it's a brand new start. I feel like for some of you guys, there's a lot to do with work. It's like you've got your head down at the moment. You're focusing on work. You're focusing on bringing in the finances, because next to the Fool, we have the Four of Pentacles. So you've moved from the Three of Pentacles up a level, so you're progressing. So now you're progressing in value, you're progressing in your home, you're progressing in the level of your standard. Yeah, so you've got the Four of Pentacles. So this could mean for some of you that it's about keep making sure that you maintain them boundaries, because the Four of Pentacles is very much about maintaining boundaries. Yeah, you can jump off, do your new start, but it's about maintaining boundaries. And I feel like you guys are trying to work on a certain level of financial stability, or in the home stability, or to do with it could even be to do with a new like career option for you. So you're trying to like stabilize the home, a lot of you, but at the same time work on your finances. And finances could be a little bit tricky for you, because in the future row you do have financial constraints as your energy card, and this is 13. It's saying not to kind of overindulge, but I'm also getting it in not to kind of overindulge yourself in love as well. So don't make the purchases that you don't need to make, and also don't overinvest, because the Queen of Cups as well on that same row, she can overinvest sometimes. She can overinvest her emotions. She can give a little bit. She can get carried away with herself a little bit. In the center of that row, you have the Seven of Pentacles, and it's about making a choice. And it's about, with this card, it's as well, it's about like vice and virtue. Like, what do you want to make this choice in? What is your decision within this? And I feel like it's about not overindulging yourself too much emotionally, because the Queen of Cups can fill any container, and it can almost be a sense of, she can also take on a lot of people's pain, or he can take on a lot of people's pain. They can kind of siphon it off into themselves, but they also fill whatever container is around them. So it's asking you to maintain your own boundaries of self within any relationship. And that is highlighted as well by your final card on the future row, which is the Queen of Pentacles. And this is about establishing a foundation, but it's a foundation that is not reliant on a partnership. It's a foundation that is reliant on self, and reliant on what she can or he can create around him to make life better, let's say. Yeah, and I feel that's why there's some worry as well with the financial constraints. But it could be that you're just establishing your own level of self at the moment, regardless of relationships. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles is also, it could be that you're working on the home together. You're working on saving up to do some extra additions to the home if you're in a relationship. It's about making decisions with the Seven of Cups that are not overindulgent. Right now is a time to kind of pull back in terms of indulgence, in terms of giving too much. It's about making the choices that are going to benefit you for the future, because like I said, I feel like you guys are being a little tested. You also have in the center row, which was the present row, we kind of skipped that and I went to the finance because my mind was drawn to the finance on the bottom row. But anyway, we have 22, which is yin and yang. So it's saying that with 22, it's saying that it's about cycles and the endings of cycles, and being at certain, and realizing and noticing certain cycles that are affecting you right now. Because I feel like that if that is where that's what area you could be tested in. But the yin and yang card, when it's upright, it talks about the energy of yin, and it talks about a lot of things being undercover, being under the surface of things. There's a lot going on with you guys this month that's under the surface, that's bubbling away. You've got the King and the Queen of Cups here. That's very emotional. But then you have the Seven of Cups as well. So, and that's about making choices about your emotions and about what you're drawn to emotionally. But with the financial constraints card as well on the bottom row, it's also asking you to ask yourself before you buy anything or do anything, is that what you want or is that what you need? Because that is the theme for you guys right now, and I think you're working that out. So I really do hope this has helped. If you want a personal reading, then hit me up on the email below. Thank you for all your likes, shares and subscribes. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.